guys, you're watching Fishtail TV, and in this episode me and my friend we went to the Cheap Lake, about 110 kilometers of Edmonton, west of Edmonton. And here I'm gonna show you how to catch, clean and cook Northern Pike. This is my first catch and cook video. Here I show you how I set up my tip-up. This is large smelt. Just tear that head off. Get your jig head. Hold your minnow sideways, like so you can put that hook all the way down. And it looks highly attractive like this. Set a tip up. And let's wait for bites. It's extremely shallow lake, only maybe 2 feet of water most, plus 3 feet of ice. There is a first hit on tip up, and there is a little pike. And first fish I usually let go. Cheap Lake is good lake to take your kids with you, or take a newbie friend fishing. It was bad last year, but this year, 2017, Cheap Lake is rocking again. You can catch a lot of pike there. Look how many people behind me, in shacks, tents. And it's pretty easy to catch a pike there. Just put a jig with a minnow, start jigging a little bit, hitting the bottom, and it'll bite eventually. You'll have a lot of fun. I also had a good opportunity to test my handmade rod. For those who didn't see that video, check it out, how to build a custom rod. I used antenna and a bed leg, and to be honest, that rod works pretty good. I have nothing bad to say about it. That's the biggest pike of the trip. That lake has not giant pikes, at least a lot of them. I never caught huge pike in that lake, but I've heard people were catching almost 10 pounders there. Good size pike. Best for eating. Yeah, we were there maybe 3 hours, not even. I caught maybe 12 fish, and a friend of mine did catch maybe 8 to 10 as well. It was pretty productive trip. That's a device you need to have for pike, that jaw holder or whatever. It helps a lot when pike closes its mouth. You can't get the jig off. Watch the tip up behind me. Just worked. I didn't notice for maybe 5 minutes, and then I finally realized. But it didn't go anywhere. It was sitting there like 5-6 minutes. Little guy. Yeah, I really like that rod I built. It's a pleasure to catch fish on something you build yourself. Works just fine. So if you guys wanna repeat that build, it's pretty easy to do. You can see two fish behind me, and I'm gonna get one more, and that's it. Yeah, on a cheap lake there is no restriction for the size. You can keep any 3 pikes, which is pretty good. I like pike, it's a good eating fish. I don't understand why so many people don't take it as a food. I mean, I do understand because most of people say they don't like those white bones and slime and the pike looks ugly. Yeah, it does, but it is tasty. And there is my catch of the day. Not bad for a couple hours. There's my rod. Rod is 34 inches long, so you can judge a little bit the size of the fish. Got home, packed the fish. Now let's clean it and cook it. Was minus 20 or so on the lake, so the fish is pretty much deep frozen. Gotta defrost it using cold water and let it soak for an hour or so, and then we can start cleaning it. Sharp your knife. It's a good benefit to have a sharp fillet knife. Yeah, and start with cutting skin along the spine and work your way to the rib cage. Cut through those white bones and start working on the rib cage. You can find a lot of videos on YouTube how to clean Northern Pike. I'm not that good at it, but I cleaned probably a couple dozens of them. This way works okay. It has a lot of meat on it. Yeah, just be careful and don't cut your fingers. No rush. This is actually 2x speed. So I always take my time, no rush. You don't want to cut yourself or cut that fillet badly. There I show in the liver and the bubble you don't want to punch. And do the same on the other side. You can split the fillets in half after you cut one side, but here I just was kinda experimenting to cut a butterfly fillet of pike, which is quite possible and easy. Here I'm gonna show you a lot of meat. I just split it in half, and we're gonna cut off the skin. Before you do it, it's mandatory to cut off those belly fins, otherwise you're gonna screw your fillet. And just like so, jiggy jiggy. Keep that pressure on the knife and keep it flat, and you'll do it. It's not that hard. And here we go. Nice fillet. I use fork just in the beginning to help me, and then I grab it by hand. Keep a tension on the fillet while you're cutting. And there's second one. I didn't film how I cleaned other two. I just show you guys all the fillets I scored from all those fish. Couple kilos of meat. Gonna give us a couple good meals. Yeah, after you cut fillet, soak it in water. You can even put a little bit of salt, and the water will take all the slime and maybe some bad taste, whatever. It's just gonna be nice and clean fillet. And then you can cube it whatever you want. I like medium chunks, like that. You can put salt, pepper, or any other spices you like for fish. I just use salt and pepper, basics. There's Ukrainian black pepper. I like a lot of pepper. Do it on both sides. Let it sit for 5-10 minutes prior to frying. Yeah, that's a final stage, cooking. I like to put a lot of oil on pan. So it's like half deep frying pretty much. Put it in flour, egg, and on a pan. That's a simple classic of cooking fish, any kind. Yeah, I know some guys, they cut off white bones from the fillet too, but I figure that's a bit of waste, because you gotta get rid of good chunk of meat. For me myself, I don't mind to play with those white bones while I'm eating fish. As a fisherman, I know where they are, and it's not a big deal to get rid of those bones while you're eating. Plus you're saving all the meat. That's a little trick using one chopstick. I love it. You don't scratch the pan, so you don't need to use a fork, and it's way easy to flip the chunks with help of that chopstick. I flip usually fish 3 times. Nice and crispy. Oh yeah. And now it's ready to serve. Just put a paper towel on your plate. It'll soak all the extra fat. And there, it's done. Now cut a little bit of lemon, put some juice on it. Some people do it before they cook. I think you can do both ways, but in this way it's extremely fresh lemon. There, nice cooked chunks. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel.